back farming with Ian. This time we're in the combine. Got a few questions I'd like to ask Ian in regards to British farming. It's all about backing British farming. So the first question I'm going to ask you, Ian, is can you explain what a combine harvester does and why it's called a combine?
Okay, yeah. So today we're combining wheat. This is a milling variety for bread making. So basically the combine harvester is, we've got the thing on the front, it's called the header. That is cutting it and then bringing it in. It's going up the front of the machine, and then there's on this particular combine, there's a long tube called the rotor that is spinning around, and that is going under a thing called a concave, which we can adjust going along if we need to thrash the material out, to thrash the grain out from the straw to separate it. And then the grain falls through the concave, and then that gets sieved, and then there's an air blowing up through the sieves to blow all the chaff off the grain, and then the chaff and the straw go out the back of the machine. And today we're rowing it up so we can bale it for animal bedding, and then the grain then goes through the cleaning system of the combine and into the grain tank. And then when the grain tank's full, we then unload it into our trailer and take it to the grain store that we store into the shed, and then we sell it later on in the year.
Okay. So what crops do you harvest with your combine here in the UK, and what does the machine need to, does it need to be adjusted for different crops?
Yeah. Well, today we're growing. Today we're cutting wheat. We also combine barley, oilseed rape, beans, peas, barley, and oats. The machine's capable of doing all of those. We just have to set it up differently. So the sieves and the concaves and the rotor speeds and all that, we just adjust it. The machine has preset settings from the factory as a guide, so we can just find the crop in the computer of the screen on the combine. We find the crop, we go from that, and that's sort of a guide to start off, and then we can then fine tune it through the day. The crop can be it changes with the moisture, with the sun shining, or a cloudy day. So sometimes it's easy thrashing, sometimes it's not. You know, to be honest, we've had it quite. Today has been very hot, so the crop's very brittle. So all the straw is smashing up more than normal. So actually, the sample of the grain, though it's thrashing easy, we're getting a lot of straw in with the grain, so we're having to blow more air to blow the straw out, with the straw out the back of the combine.
Well, as you're in the combine, it's actually quite beautiful to go through the fields because you get to see a lot of wildlife. I've seen a few hares jump up and bolt and leave the field into the next field. So yeah, I guess you see a lot of wildlife.
Yeah, we see a lot of wildlife. Yeah, we've seen deers and hares and all sorts.
So question number 3, could you walk us through the different stages of harvesting process from field to storage?
Yeah, so well, for a start, we're planting the grain, so it's just a grain. We're planting that into the ground. We're looking after that throughout the season. We're spraying it with pesticides to protect it from diseases. We're then and growth regulators to control the height of the crop. And then when we harvest it like we are today, we're harvesting it, then we're now unloading it into a trailer, and then we are then taking it to the grain shed store, and we are then looking after that grain. We're having to cool it this year. Sorry, I'm just the technology on these machines have really come on, so I'm not only driving the combine today, I'm driving the tractor and trailer from the combine seat, so it's quite difficult. I'm just operating 2 machines at the moment.
So not only are you driving the combine, you're driving the tractor that's alongside us at the same time?
I am, yeah. So when it comes along the side to empty, I take over, and it enables me to sort of drive that combine, drive that tractor and steer it as well, according to where I want it.
Very smart.
The combine as well, and the tractors, they're on full GPS, so the combine, I'm hands-free, it's driving itself, it's steering itself, and it's controlling its speed as well according to the crop.
Very smart. So what is the main part of the combine harvester, and what do each part do?
So you've got the header at the front, that cuts it, that brings it into the machine, and then you've got the threshing system inside the machine, which is threshing it, which is rubbing the grain out from the ear of the wheat, and then separating the grain from the straw, and then at the end, then that's it basically.
Okay. How do you decide when a crop is ready to harvest? I know you mentioned earlier that it's quite dry at the moment.
Yeah.
And what signs do you look for?
So so we can't harvest a crop when it's green. It has to be dead and dry. So this year it's been easy. It's died really quick. And then we do moisture tests as well. So the grain, we want it in store 15% moisture or below. I mean, today it's unbelievable. It's actually too dry. It's 10.5 to 11.5% moisture. That's too dry. You know, we lose weight on the crop with that. So it's yeah. So if it's too wet, we can add moisture. I'll just get that tractor out of the way. So then we've got to cool it as well. So on a hot day like today, it's been sort of nearly 30 degrees today. We can store it, but we have to cool it. So we're going to have to put some air through it. We put fans in, or we blow it through the floor. We've got air vents under the floor, and we can cool it. So we need to store it long term, around about sort of below 10 degrees really. So we'll be blowing cool air through the night to bring that crop temperature down. If we don't do that, it can heat up in the shed, it can sweat, but bugs can then live in it, and we get a right problem. So as soon as the temperature outside starts to drop, we can then start cooling it.
So it goes into that trailer.
Yeah.
And then where does it go?
It goes back to the farm, into the grain store, into the shed, and then we just pile it up into a big heap. We grow, so wheat isn't just wheat, we grow different varieties. We grow feed wheat for animal feed, we grow milling wheat, we grow biscuit wheat. So we have to keep all those separate, so they're all in different sheds. And then once they're in the sheds, we then weekly monitor it. We spear it, send it off for testing, and then monitor it for moisture and temperature.
Has an animal ever got in the way?
It happens. I haven't actually harvested an animal. I've had to stop before with a hare. It sort of ran towards me. I stopped and lifted the header up, and yeah, nothing was hurt.
Right, okay. So what steps do you take to prepare the combine before the start of your working day for it to all work?
The start of the day, so we make sure, as you do, it's full of fuel. We're using roughly, on a big day, we're using about sort of 1,200 litres, 1,300 litres a day of diesel. So we fill up, we check the oils, we go around the machine, we grease it up, all the greasing points. It's got greasing points every 10 daily hours or weekly greasing points. We just go around, check all the belts, lube up the chains that drive everything, and just sort of spend sort of half an hour just going around the machine, checking everything's okay.
Okay, so what challenges do you face during the harvest throughout the year, such as weather or machine issues? What challenges do you have?
There's always challenges with farming, and that is mainly related to weather. You know, if it's too wet, it's different challenges to too dry. We can cope with both really, but actually a dry year is actually easier for us, but actually can be more challenging. So because this crop now is sort of too dry, we're losing weight, so we're losing yield. So we're losing probably every trailer load that's holding sort of 15-16 tons of grain. When it goes below sort of 11%, we're probably losing nearly a ton of weight in that trailer, every trailer load. So that's a cost to us. Also, big challenges as well, which is hard to prepare for, is fire risk. When it's so dry, is fire risk. Yeah. So we have a Bowser on hand. It's not in the field today, but it's not far away. But if we do have a fire, hopefully we can soon get it here and try and put it out. We've got a fire extinguisher on the machine, but the fire hazard when it's dry and hot is quite worrying really. It's on a wet year, or on a cooler year, that's not really such a risk. You know, we can get, so on this particular combine underneath, we're on plastic skids. Some machines are on metal skids that follow the ground. Now if they hit a stone and just make a little spark, then that's a field fire. So you know, we're up to challenges all the time. Wet years, you know, the grain's wet, we're having to dry it more, it's costing us to dry it. You know, it's potentially getting the machine stuck if it's that wet, which I've known it to be that wet. Every year is different, and every year is a challenge. I mean, this year's been an easy year because you know, every day is a dry day and you can get on, and it doesn't matter whether you have a big day or a short day, you know tomorrow's going to be a dry day. We try and keep our machine up to date, as in quite new, so we don't get the breakdowns and the downtime. You can get a lot of bearings go or something break on the machine. So that is downtime, which on a wet year we can't really afford to have too many downtimes. You know, on a dry year when you've got the weather with you, yeah, you can, if you have a breakdown, then tomorrow's a dry day and you can crack on again.
So my next question is, how has technology in combine harvesters adapted and changed over the years, and what differences has it made to your job, to your work?
Oh God, technology has come on so far, it's unbelievable, and it just keeps going and going. So you know, 30 years ago we were driving the combine, we were steering it, we were setting it up more. Now to this day it's fully automated. Like, I'm not steering, I'm not driving it, it's doing it all itself. It's when we go up and down hills, it's changing its settings, it's opening the sieves, it's closing the sieves, going uphill, downhill. It's doing everything automatic. And now we've got the capability then of me driving the tractor when it comes along the side of me to empty the grain into it, so I know to get that trailer in exactly the right place for the machine. It's synced up to the combine, so it matches the combine speed. No, it's unbelievable where it's going. I mean, it has took the skill out of the job, but actually on an auto steer machine, when it's dusty, when it's dark, when you're tired, it is taking a lot of the stress out of it. You're getting 100% out of the machine, full working width, you know, full capacity of the machine. So it's good. You know, it's good. It means we can, and it's not a good thing, but it means that you can actually put less experienced people on machines, because the machine is actually driving itself more. So we can, yeah, we've lost a skill, I'm afraid, but you know, it's the way it's going. But it's made us a lot more efficient.
So what's your favourite or least favourite thing about combining?
Oh, I love combining. I love planting that seed, and I like growing it. But I love combining because it's sort of like the end of the process. You get rewarded on, you know, it's not so rewarding if it's a bad crop, because then you're questioning yourself, what have you done wrong? But when you see a good crop, and you know, it's so rewarding. But also driving and operating the combine, we can see the yield. We've got yield monitors on the screen, so it's changing across the field. And we can then analyse that, whether that's a drainage issue or something, compaction in the field. So we can then see whether we can improve those parts of the fields by just something simple, by cultivating a bit deeper or not cultivating at all. No, I love it. It's my favourite job.
So do you love that song, I've Got a Brand New Combine?
Well, everyone loves that song, don't they?
Well, that's it, everyone. Back British farming. You know, we're in the combine. There's loads of things throughout the year that Ian and all the other farmers in the UK are doing, and we try and cover it, make you more educated, so that you know where your food and where produce comes from. So get behind the farmers. Back British farming.